Let me ask you something, and be honest. When did you last trim your cat's nails? For a lot of you, the answer is never. Not because you do not adore her, but because the one time you tried, it blew up into a hissing wrestling match. You came away with 3 welts down your forearm and you swore off it for good. I understand. But here is what nobody tells you. While you steer clear of the fight, one of your sweet girl's claws is curling slowly toward the soft pad under her own toe. No cry, no limp, not a sound. Then one day that point closes its loop and sinks into the pad, and now she has an ingrown claw. Now it is infected, and now you are across the exam table from me, paying for what a 2-minute session on the sofa would have spared you both. These trims turn bloody hardly ever because your cat is difficult, and hardly ever because of the nails. It is about your hands and how you hold her. And the most important safety item in the whole routine is probably in your baking cupboard right now. Hi everyone, I'm Grace Lee, your neighborhood veterinarian, and welcome back to the channel. Over more than a decade in my clinic, the cats who come to me with painful ingrown claws almost always belong to the gentlest pet parents around. The usual advice is to just hand your cat to a clinic every few weeks. But as a holistic-leaning vet, I would rather repair the root cause, and that root cause is a few simple skills you can learn at home. So let me show you the tools that make this safe, the handling trick that keeps your skin whole, and the trouble spots the tutorials skip. First, why this matters so much. It is not about saving your couch. It is about pain, hers and yours. Claws grow without stopping, like our fingernails. A young cat outdoors files hers down on bark and fences, but an indoor girl, and above all a senior past the age of 11, does nothing of the sort. So the nail keeps lengthening, and it never comes in flat. It curls back toward her foot, and given enough time, that point completes its circle and buries into the pad. That is the ingrown claw again, genuinely agonizing and almost entirely avoidable. If you hear little clicks against the tile as she crosses a room, she is already past due. That clicking is no quirk, it is a countdown. For most cats, a peek every 2 to 4 weeks keeps you well ahead of it. So what should you cut with? 3 solid options. 1. Purpose-made cat clippers, curved to fit a claw so they part it cleanly instead of crushing. Keep the blade sharp, because a dull one mashes the nail, and that pinch is what teaches a cat to loathe the whole affair. 2. The ordinary clippers in your bathroom drawer, though they are built for flat human nails, so watch your angle. If this is all new, reach for the cat clippers, they forgive more. 3. For the anxious, a little rotary grinder that sands the tip down instead of snipping. Some cats hate the whirring, but for others it removes the terror of cutting too far. And now the single item that outweighs any clipper, and it is no clipper at all. Styptic powder. Any shop that stocks pet gear carries it, and if you have run out, a spoonful of plain cornstarch off your baking shelf does the identical trick. Set a little dish where you can grab it before your cat is ever in your arms. The real reason pet parents dread trimming is the dread of blood, and this modest dish dissolves it. Never skip it. Long before she settles onto your knee, you prepare the space, and this quiet setup decides the outcome. You want calm, no other animals barging in, no blaring screen. You want bright light, because you will be judging exactly where the blade goes, and you want grip, a towel under her, so no one is skating on something slick. Then you choose the moment. Do not go hunting a bright-eyed cat mid-zoomies. You want her drowsy, warm and full after a meal. And let me lift a burden off you, because this belief sinks more people than anything. You do not have to finish every paw in one go. If she gives you 2 claws and then says she is done, count it a win, quit there, and pick it up tomorrow. There is no medal for clearing all 18 at once, and pushing for them is the fastest way to a cat who bolts at the sight of clippers forever after. Now the positioning, the real professional secret. Perch your cat on your lap, facing out at the room. knees drawn together so your thighs make a shallow cradle that keeps her from sliding off either side. Lay a forearm lightly over her shoulders. The feeling you want is supported, never pinned. Notice what that outward pose does for you. Every claw now points away from your face and chest. So a sudden kick rakes thin air, not your skin. The second she wriggles, and she will, your body will beg you to squeeze harder. Resist it. Clamping down is the true error, the one that gets you shredded. Her whole defense is to reverse and yank free, so the instant your fingers vise shut, you have handed her the very resistance she wants to fight, and your arms foot the bill. Instead, tilt in and softly press her against your side. There is hard science here. Researchers of low-stress handling found that a cat held loosely, free to shift herself, fights less and shows far fewer fear signals than one held down. A soft press soothes, a tight grab inflames. Get that right, and you have shielded both of you. Now, let me pause on the real clinical science, because once this lands, you will never over-squeeze your cat again. A scratch or a bite is not just a scrape. Those teeth are slender and sharp, and a bite drives germs deep under the surface, where the puncture closes over and locks them in. One such germ, Pasteurella, rides in the mouths of most healthy cats, and it can bloom into a serious infection inside 24 to 48 hours. Scratches bring their own trouble. Cat scratch disease traces to a germ called Bartonella, found in as many as 1 in 3 healthy cats, kittens most of all. It can swell a sore lymph node a week or 2 later, with a mild fever. And this weighs heaviest for the older crowd. If you are a senior or diabetic, or your defenses have softened with age, these infections strike harder. It is exactly why the gentle press beats the hard grip every time. And if one does land anyway, rinse it under running water a full 5 minutes with mild soap, and keep her tongue off it. A deep bite, or spreading redness and fever over the next day or 2, means you ring your own doctor, not me. Some of you live with a genuine swatter, and no gentle press will be enough at first. So here are 2 owner safety tools most guides skip. First, the towel wrap. Spread a bath towel flat, set her in the middle with her head just past one edge, fold one flap up over her back and chest, then lap the other across the top, snug like a burrito but never tight at the neck. Now you free a single paw at a time. Ease one leg out, trim it, tuck it home, and only then reach for the next. 3 sets of claws stay bundled in that towel throughout, so at no point are all 4 free to rake you. The second tool is another person. Have someone the cat trusts steady her head while you free a paw and clip, so neither of you has to bear down. Now the nail itself. She keeps her claws sheathed until she calls on them, so first you invite one into view. Pinch a single toe between thumb and finger, and here is the part that guards your hand. Set your finger atop the little knuckle and your thumb below on the soft bean, then press softly. Out it slides, forward and down, away from your fingertips, rather than into them. Now study the nail, because this is where a cat gets hurt and where everyone slips up. On a pale claw, a pink column runs up the inside. That pink is the quick, home to the blood vessels and nerves, and it is the one thing we never touch. Nick it and it stings, it weeps, and one bad moment is all it takes for a cat to brand nail, trims her sworn enemy for life. The right way is simple. Slice off nothing but the hooked point at the end. Only the tip. It will feel like you took barely anything, and that is the idea. Free the toe and move on. Dull is exactly what you want. Now 4 things almost every guide leaves out. 1. The dewclaw. High on the inner face of each front leg, like a thumb, sits a claw that never touches the ground, so it never wears, which makes it the one most likely to overgrow and coil into the flesh. That agonizing ingrown claw I opened with? More often than not, this is the culprit, so inspect it on every trim, without fail. 2. Dark nails. Reading that pink quick only works when you can see it, and many cats wear black claws that hide it completely. Do not gamble. Hold a small light behind the claw, and the quick often shows as a faint shadow, and if it still will not show. Shave the barest slivers off the end and check it sooner. If unsure, always leave a little extra. 3. Extra toes. Some cats come polydactyl with spare toes and big mitten paws, and a hidden nail is easy to miss, so count them all. And 4. The heavy one. What if you clip the quick anyway? Should it happen, do not spiral, it is no emergency. Expect a yelp and a foot jerked back, maybe a bead of blood. Stay steady, dip into that dish of styptic powder or cornstarch, and hold a firm pinch to the tip a few seconds. The bleeding stops within a minute or two, then a treat, a breather, and next round you stay a hair shy of the quick. Once you have a plan for the worst, the fear loosens its grip. With the front claws behind you, the toughest stretch is over. The hind feet hold no ambush for your forearms, so ease off. Brace her with one arm, press gently the moment she squirms, roll out each toe and take the very tips, same as before. And with that, all 4 paws are done. But mind what happens at the close, because this final touch counts as much as any of it. I lower her right to the floor and let her go. What that clean release teaches is that the moment the trim ends, her freedom snaps straight back, and that convinces her the whole thing was nothing to fear. Always land on a bright note, and learn her signals that she is spent. Ears flattening or swiveling sideways, a twitching tail, lip licking, a foot pulling hard against you, a low grumble. Each of those fires before a scratch or a bite, so the instant you spot one, close out happily rather than muscling on. Forcing through to the finish gains you nothing. It costs you the next 10 sessions, and very possibly your skin. So if you take one thing from today, make it this: your cat is not battling you out of spite or stubbornness. She is a small, tender creature with no clue what those clippers are, doing all she can to feel safe in a baffling moment. Nearly all of how she behaves rests with you, not her. A hush in the room and a cat who has just eaten. Your body doing the holding, not your grip. Only ever the hooked tips. And the freedom she earns the moment the last toe is done. Line those up, and fear never gets a reason to arrive, and neither does blood, hers or yours. You can genuinely do this. Give those claws a look on a 2 to 4 week rhythm, tune your ear to the little clicks on the tile, and never once think you must clear them all at a single sitting. Like anything you practice, it comes easier with every round. Now, before I send you off, so many pet parents ask me to put it all in one place, so I put together a book called The Right Companion. It is my full guide to helping your cat, your dog, whatever fortunate little soul shares your home, live a longer, healthier, happier life the natural root cause way. If you want to go deeper on anything we touched today, there is a link in the description. I will never lean on you. It simply sits there if you want it, and if it saves even one of you from a frightening decision down the line, that is plenty for me, and I would honestly love to hear from you below. Tell me, how does your cat take a nail trim right now? An absolute angel or an absolute handful? Which of these tips will you try first? And do tell me your cat's name, because I love picturing the dear faces behind your stories. I read every comment that lands here, and I mean it. If this helped even a little, drop a like. It truly helps our channel reach and protect more cats and more pet parents like you. And if you have not subscribed, come join us. Now go find that beautiful cat of yours and give your sweet kitty a slow blink from me tonight. Keep fighting the good fight, and I will see you in the next video.